Hello guys! So, I went back and forth on if I was going to do a vlog today. Like, I kind of wanted to, but then I was like, should I take the day off? I don't know. But then I decided to go for it. So, we are here with Coco. She's chunky. I love her. She's a very good girl. She gets shaved down in a 7 every 8 weeks. So, she's always in really good shape. I always put her straight in the tub. Sometimes, if they're like really overgrown, like I'd say if they're closer to like maybe an inch, then I'll go ahead and pre-shave. But she usually has like maybe a ½ inch. It doesn't take me any longer to bathe her or dry her, so I don't pre-shave. I've done both, like kind of going back and forth to decide like what I think is faster. And I think it adds more time to shave her first. Because then, you know, you shave it all and you got to clean it up and that all takes extra time. So for me, I find it's faster to just go ahead and bathe her first and then I shave her once she's clean. She's also like, I think she's actually a Shih Tzu and she's got like curlier coat. So I think too it helps her hair to be like a little fluffier. So it's faster because like, you know, if they've got like 8 weeks and they haven't had a bath, they're a little greasy. So their hair kind of wants to lay flat on itself. So when it's all nice and clean, it stands up really well. And these shampoos, by the way, that I'm using by Hyponic, I'm using the moisturizing right now. They are 2-in-1. I use the 2-in-1 shampoos with no conditioner per se. I use a leave-in. My bottle. Oh, I moved it. Here's my bottle. But I used, let me show you. This. And there's more mixed up in this bottle because this one is like for all dogs, I believe. Yeah, see? For all dogs. So I've got I've got 2 dachshunds and 2 Frenchies today. And I'm going to be in the part of town that has a old time pottery and Tuesday morning. And I've seen really good Halloween stuff there. So I really want to go before it's all gone. Because the thing is like they start Halloween like really early, like seriously like July is when you start seeing stuff come out, but then by like October it's like all gone and it's all Christmas stuff. So I really want to make sure I get to see some of the Halloween stuff before they don't have it anymore. Home Goods is a little different because they're like constantly getting new stuff. Oh, and there's an at home too where I'm going. I don't have one of those in like my neck of the woods. It's about like an hour from me, but it's like where my mom lives, so I groomed some dogs over there, and the 2 Frenchies that I have are not very far from like where I want to go for all those places because they're all like seriously really close together. Old Time Pottery, yeah, they're all like right there. They're like within like 10 minutes of each other. So normally I don't go out in the van to do those kind of things because when I'm out shopping, like most people, I just kind of want to be left alone. And in the van, I've got to be in like work mode where I'm like, hey, I'm a professional business lady. You know what I mean? So, but that's okay because I can save on gas because I was going to drive out there tomorrow. But if I go today, then, like I said, I won't have to drive out there twice because I'm already going to be there. But I didn't come up with this plan until I was already here at this stop, and I've got Stevie and Hammer with me. So I'm going to hope that I have enough time to get them home either after this stop or after the dachshunds, because I obviously don't want to bring them and leave them in the car while I'm at the store. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna go drop them off and go check out those stores. Because I'm hoping, especially since we are getting so close to Halloween and they are trying to clear stuff out so they can put their Christmas stuff up, that maybe there will be some better deals. I also, if I can make it home, I have a coupon for like, I think it was like 50% off an item at Michael's, but it expires today. So I want to go and try to use that too before it expires. I signed up for their little card thing, and I think that with that you get extra coupons and stuff, because I haven't noticed any additional discount. But yeah, I do want to get be able to use that coupon that I got. There's definitely some stuff that I still want up there. I'm just hoping, because the one that I'm going to is in a much busier area than the one I typically go to. So I'm hoping they're not sold out of all the stuff that I want. I'm really trying to think though. I'm like, what would I want with that coupon? There's like a big Venus flytrap that's really cool. It was like $100, maybe even more. I want to say it was like $199. But if I got 50% off, do I want to spend $100 on that? Maybe not. But I don't know, maybe if they have a cute Christmas tree or something. I don't know, I want to go look though. Thought we could talk about all the Halloween TV shows and movies and everything that's out right now. So first of all, I would love if you guys gave me recommendations on your favorite Halloween movies, because I feel like you guys that watch me, we have a lot in common in that regard. So I'd love to hear movies and books. I really want to read. I'm watching The Midnight Club right now, and I know that that was a book first, so I'm really interested in reading the book, even though normally I do it the other way, that I'll read the book and then watch the TV show, but I started watching the TV show already. So first, Hocus Pocus 2. I really enjoyed. It was very nostalgic. The only thing I would have liked to see that I didn't was, I would have liked for Max and Allison and Danny to have come back to help the girls. I think that would have been really cool. But I also don't know much about those actors and what's going on in their life. So maybe they weren't available or whatever. But I just thought that would be cool. I was really hoping to see them too. But other than that, I thought everything was really good. It was really quirky and funny. And like I said, very nostalgic. I really enjoyed it. I also loved the opening scene. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but basically you kind of get a little bit of insight into the Sanderson sisters when they're young. And all I'm going to say is the girl that played Winifred in particular did such a good job. Oh my god, she was perfect. She really nailed that role. So really enjoyed that, but I'm not going to talk too much about it because it did come out recently. I want to give you time to watch it if you haven't. That's on Disney Plus. So yes, I definitely loved Hocus Pocus 2. And the Munsters. Now, I was really excited about the Munsters because I love Rob Zombie, and I really had high hopes. I enjoy a lot of his movies. But to be honest with you, it was just like, I don't want to say boring, but like, first of all, I felt like the ending, it just ended. Like, I don't know. It felt like it was like right in the middle of something, and then it just like ended. So I didn't love that aspect of it. I saw a lot of people complaining about Sherry Moon, that she can't act. I've always thought she was a good actress, but I think what people were saying, because she like does this like very over exaggerated acting for this role, and I think that's what gave the feel of her not being able to act. But I think she looked beautiful. I enjoy Sherry Moon. She's always been one of my favorite. I guess she's just an actress, right? She doesn't do any. I don't want to say she doesn't do anything else, but that, like, she wasn't like Rob Zombie originally started in music, and I guess I don't know a lot about them to know how they met or anything like that. But I think she's beautiful. I enjoyed seeing her, but I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about the Munsters to say whether I think she fit the role or not, but I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. I don't feel like it was like one of those like, oh, I wish I could get those 2 hours of my life back. But it also wasn't one that I'm like, oh yes, this is going to be a new one of my favorite Halloween movies. You know what I mean? So it was a solid eh. I wouldn't say that you like have to watch it, but if you're interested at all, like, just, you know, watch it. It's on Netflix. I'm gonna shave her lips. Oh, she said, no ma'am, don't you shave my lips. There we go. Then what else? Oh, Dahmer. I was talking about that in another vlog. I did finish Dahmer. I really enjoyed it. I think Evan Peters did a really good job. Also, when I was in Gatlinburg, I got to see Handcuffs that had Jeffrey Dahmer. I'd heard, or my sister had heard actually, that he was supposed to have like his glasses at the museum, and I don't know if they just weren't there, or if they weren't approved, or like going through some sort of, I don't know how they do museum stuff. Do they have to approve stuff first? But I didn't see him regardless. But what I did see was his handcuffs, and I also saw they had like a form he'd filled out for somebody, I think, to come visit him in prison or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that here. That was really cool. If you're ever in, it's actually in Pigeon Forge. It's like maybe 20-30 minutes from Gatlinburg. That's where the Alcatraz Museum is. It was very, very cool. So if you, I will say though, there were some parts that were really emotional. Like they had Casey Anthony's, is it Casey? Kaylee, yeah, Kaylee is the daughter, and they had her like book bag that she was wearing when she was found, and that was like, it just like really like made that situation like so much more real to me. Like oh my god, like, and I mean, I got it obviously that it was like a little girl, but something about seeing this like Winnie the Pooh backpack was like, oh my god, like she's just a baby, you know? It's like so sad. So that was really sad, and they also had a piece of the building from the Twin Towers from 9/11, and that was like kind of like an eerie feeling. So that stuff was heavy, but there was a lot of like really interesting stuff from like all different parts of history, and I really, really enjoyed it. There was a few things from Bonnie and Clyde, but the thing with Bonnie and Clyde was like a lot of like normal people were there, like whenever the car and everything from Bonnie and Clyde, and they just like ran up and were like ripping stuff off of the car. So they only had like bits and pieces of things. They had like I think the Bonnie and Clyde car that they had there was from the movie. I'm gonna go ahead and attach that here. So you can see it was a recreation, but it was not the actual car, because like I said, I believe the actual car was like ripped apart or something. It said on one of those plaques, and now I can't remember. It was a lot to take in. Oh, and we saw John Wayne Gacy's clown outfits, and that was like kind of unreal too. Also, speaking of John Wayne Gacy, I'd started to watch the John Wayne Gacy tapes on Netflix, and that was really interesting. If you like the true crime kind of stuff, I know they have John Wayne Gacy, they just put up Dahmers, and then they have Ted Bundy's as well. And I started watching Gacy, and I feel like I've learned a lot that I didn't already know about John Wayne Gacy, so I thought that was also really interesting. So yeah, Dahmer was good, Hocus Pocus I enjoyed, and The Munsters was okay. So right now I'm watching The Midnight Club. I think I started to mention that, and that is really good so far. I'm really, really enjoying it. I was watching it this morning before I had to leave for work, and it was so hard to turn it off and go to work. I wanted to keep watching. It's definitely kept my interest, but I will say it is one of those, like, to me there's TV shows that you can just turn on in the background, like that's what I do with like Ghost Adventures and stuff like that. But The Midnight Club and like Dahmer are ones that you really have to sit there and watch, so they kind of, I only watch them at certain times, whereas like, you know, the stuff I can just put on in the background, I will watch or listen to while I'm at work, I guess. I haven't decided if I'm gonna go see that last Halloween movie. Like, part of me wants to, but I watched, what was it, Halloween Kills, and I didn't love it. But I have it still on that Vudu. If you guys have ever used that, it's like you can buy, like, it's kind of like Amazon. I think that you can just like buy individual movies and like have them forever. I have a lot of stuff on Vudu because I like that it's an app that you can just pull up wherever you're at. So if you're not home, you can still watch your movies. So I do enjoy that about Voodoo. Anyway, I'm just not sure. I didn't like Halloween Kills that much. So I'm like going back and forth. I'm like, well, it's the last one, and that makes me want to see it. I'm just worried I'm gonna go and not like the movie. I don't know though. I think that's one that'll be good to see in theaters, because I feel like you get, like, especially with a scary movie, you get that like more intense effect. Like everything's a little scarier because it's louder and it's dark, and you know. So I feel like that might be a good one to see in theaters. And I want to say that one comes out on my sister's birthday, October 14th. I can't remember offhand, so I'll have to double check on that. I don't know that she's going to want to go do that. She's turning 19, so she's kind of like in that phase of like, she just wants to go out with her friends all the time, you know? I don't foresee her choosing to do that on her birthday, but we'll see. I think while I'm out in Greenville today, that's where my family lives. I live in like Anderson County. But anyway, while I'm in Greenville, I think I'm going to go and drop off and bring her presents, because I was going to wait until Wednesday, because I wanted it basically to be on her birthday, but I'm working all day on her birthday, and basically I don't want to wait too late and then get her presents late. I'd rather them be early than late. She's kind of a bigger girl. She can stand, but she chooses not to, so I just put the belly band on when I need to do something like this, because I know she's just going to want to sit down. I got my sister, let's see, my youngest sister, her birthday was September 20th, and I got her a Ghost t-shirt. She plays guitar. She's a really cool kid, and she loves Metallica and Ghost, so I got her a Metallica / Hellfire Club. This is what I've been liking to do at the base of the tail, by the way. I just kind of like brush it up and trim. I used to run the clippers down it, but I felt like, I don't know, that was giving me too harsh of a line, whereas I feel like this blends it a little bit better, so that's what I've been doing recently. I bet I change things all the time. I think that's kind of the fun thing about this job, is being able to be creative. And her tail, like, sometimes I do like the more like flag tail, but like hers I kind of just do the like pull down and trim at the end. Her hair, like, it doesn't do the nice flag tail. Like, I feel like if I did that, it would just be really short, so that's why I do hers like that. I got my youngest sister a Ghost t-shirt. It was like a special Mary on the Cross one. And then my sister, that her birthday's on Friday, yeah, it said Hellfire Metallica hoodie, and then the Ghost t-shirt for my youngest. And then the one that her birthday is on Friday, she's gonna be 19, and I got her these Vans that she wanted. They were like the solid black, low tennis shoes, you know, like these, but like the big, chunky bottom. So that's what she wanted. And then I also got her like an Anastasia eyebrow kit, because she's all about her eyebrows, and she'd been complaining that she doesn't have any good brow gel. So I got her a little kit. I want to say it has like a pencil, maybe I know it has a brow gel, and then I can't remember what else, but I figured that she would like that. So that's what I got them for their birthdays. But anyway, I'm going to go finish Coco's Grooming, and we'll be back. Alright, so we finished up there early enough that I can go get my caramel apple butter latte from my coffee shop locally. I don't really know what's in it, because I had somebody asking me about it, and it is just like a little small coffee shop in my area. It's like privately owned, so it's not like Starbucks that you can get it anywhere. It's similar to that iced apple spice or whatever from Starbucks. It's a little bit less appley, like a little more sweet, but I don't know what they put in it to make it taste like that. But they do have a TikTok. It's called Maple Bakery and Coffee House, maybe something like that. Maple Bakery, I know it's Maple Bakery something. But they put a lot of their drinks on TikTok, so maybe I need to go check over there and see if they have like what they put in it, because it definitely has that kind of like more buttery kind of flavor, less apple, whereas like the Starbucks apple one is like very apple-y to me, and I'm not normally an apple person, so I really like that caramel apple butter latte. So any chance I get to go by there, I always do. And that last client is always like, she's such a good tipper. Like, her dog is like really easy, so it's like one of my lower priced dogs, and she, during like when all the gas got more expensive and everything, she'd already been tipping so much that I didn't raise her price when I raised other people's, so she raised her own price. And I always look forward to going there because the dog is really good, the owners are really sweet, and she's always so generous with her tips. So I really appreciate that, because you know, it's nice to feel like people appreciate what you do. And she just gets her dog shaved down like to nothing, basically. Super easy all year round. Like, she never gets like a longer, fluffier cut. She always wants her just like completely shaved, and works for me, easy enough. And like I said, she's a really awesome client. So anyway, I'm gonna go grab my coffee, then I'm gonna head to the dachshund's house. I decided, because I'm gonna have to pass my house anyway to get to Sirius and Harry, the French Bulldog's house, so that's when I'm gonna drop off Stevie and Hammer. We're just gonna go ahead and go straight to the dachshunds, and then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be done in plenty of time to go drop Stevie and Hammer off. I'll let my dogs out. Oh, I should probably eat something, because I forgot to make myself something to eat for breakfast. I haven't been hungry in breakfast time. I get like hungry around lunch recently. So anyway, I'm gonna go get my coffee and I'll be back. All right, so caramel apple butter acquired. Very beautiful. Oh, this lady's watching me film myself. So I went to go in there, and there were these ladies at the front, and the one girl came up to me and she's like, stupid question, but do you have a chip reader? And I'm sure, like, if I could have had one of those loading bubbles above my head, I was like, chip reader? And then I realized they had a lost dog, and they were wondering if I had like a microchip scanner, and I was like, oh no, I don't. But I referred them to the local shelter. But yeah, I was like so confused. I was like thinking like square reader, like for my card. And then I was like, oh no, she's talking about the dog. But I was thinking about it. I was like, do they sell those? Can you like have that? Because it wouldn't be like a terrible idea to have one of those. Have you ever, can you buy that? Is that something you can get on Amazon? I'm curious. All right, we have Piper first, dachshund number 1. Sister is also a dachshund. Have you noticed that like certain breeds, they'll have multiples of? King Charles Cavaliers seem to be one that like everybody has one of the black ones and one of the orangey colored ones. I don't know why that is, but certain types of breeds you seem to see in multiples. So we got 2 dachshunds and 2 Frenchies left. So super, super easy Saturday. I do take Saturdays kind of easy because my assistant, she is a manager at a different local coffee shop. I don't go to hers as much because they don't have a drive-through, and she's not in the area that I frequent as often, so I do go there, but usually like on the weekends and all that, or Mondays. I'll go on Mondays because they're closed Sunday. That's the only benefit of Starbucks over some of the smaller coffee shops, is at least in my area, all the small coffee shops are closed on Sunday. And Sunday is my day off. That's the day I really like to go get a coffee. So that's usually when I get my pumpkin spice in. Like I was saying, I take Saturdays easy because she has to work her other job that day. So I never take dogs that I need additional help with on Saturday, so it usually just ends up being like my more chill day, which I enjoy. It's kind of a nice little prequel to the weekend. So I'm going to go home. I think I'm only on like the 2nd episode of the Midnight Club, but it's really interesting. It's definitely thriller-like, but there's a lot of jump scares. That was like actually what got me interested in the first place in it, was that I'd seen some article on Facebook talking about how this show had like the most jump scares of like any show out right now, or something like that. It was like something about the amount of jump scares it had. So I really wanted to watch that because I love a good scary movie, but it's kind of more like a thriller, like almost like, you know how like Shutter Island is, that it's like kind of scary-ish, but it's mostly like intriguing thriller. That's how this is. Oh, and it's made by the same person that did Hill House and Bly Manor, which I absolutely loved. I can't remember his name, but I loved both of those. I was hoping they would continue on with the series, but last I read, they weren't planning on making any more in that series. That series was done, which is sad because especially Hill House was so good. And there was a lot of good jump scares in that. And I like, if you haven't seen Hill House, there are like a bunch of hidden ghosts throughout the TV show, and I love that. I think that's so fun. It makes rewatching even more fun because the first time you watch, you're just watching the like storyline, but then you can go back and watch for the ghosts and try to catch them in the background. I just think that's really fun. There are videos on YouTube as well if you've already watched it and you're interested to see where the ghosts are. If you haven't seen it, don't watch that because it'll definitely spoil things for you. But it is, I love stuff like that, like little Easter eggs, little things in the background to pay extra attention to. I think that stuff's really fun. I'm really enjoying the Midnight Club right now. Let me move you over so you can see us. You can barely see her little noggin. Oh, I love them little stumpy legs. But yeah, so that's what I'm watching right now. But yeah, if you guys have any like book or like Audible, I listen to books on Audible. A lot of times, I used to be really big into reading, but to be honest with you, since I started my business, I've struggled to have the attention span for it because my brain is just like always on like what needs to happen next. So sometimes it's hard for me to focus on a book like that. So I do Audible because I can just have it on while I'm working, and I enjoy that the most. So anyway, if you've got any Audible recommendations, let me know. And also, if you guys are Buffy fans, has anybody read that new book that's supposed to be like from Spike's point of view? Also, I've been seeing people talk about the comic book. My assistant actually got me one of the comic books for my birthday, so I may read that this weekend because I'm seeing on the Buffy group on Facebook that people really enjoy the comic books. I've never been a comic book person, but I love the Buffy story so much that I think I would enjoy that. So let me know if you guys have read it. I think I'm becoming a regular at that coffee shop. I went in today and I was ordering my drink, and he like already basically knew what I was gonna get before I ordered. I was like, dang, I'm coming a lot, huh? That's same at Starbucks. Now they always ask for your name, and I'll pull up and they're like, I'll be like, oh, it's Janine, and they're like, oh, venti, pumpkin spice latte hot, and 4 puff cups. Because I always get the dog's puff cups if I'm going to Starbucks, unless I'm going to the grocery store, because my Starbucks is right in front of my grocery store. So sometimes I go like before or after I get groceries, and if that's the case, obviously I don't have my dogs with me. But if I'm just going out to drive around in the morning, then I always bring my dogs. So they know whenever I pull up. So I think this place is starting to know me too. I tagged them on Instagram too on one of my stories, and I think that kind of alerted them to who I am. So Miss Piper is going to get a 7 all over as well. She's got that like kind of more cottony kind of hair that just wants to tangle, especially on these little legs. They will tangle so bad in their armpits, so I just shave her down. And sister Ziggy, she just gets like a booby trim and trim around her feet and all that. Do I trim her ears? I don't think her ears are even long enough to trim, if I remember right. But she's starting to get that cottony stuff on her legs too. So we trim that up real good for her. But so far I haven't shaved her down. Her hair texture is a bit different than Piper's. Piper definitely has like a softer hair. Like, she told me whenever I first started coming here, they tried to grow her out, but they just kind of, they said she always gets matted, and they just like the short haircut. So that's fine. Whatever works for the client, really. So anyway, I'm gonna go finish up Miss Piper, and then we'll check back in when we've got Ziggy. All right, we are back, and here's Ziggy. So, the Bathing Beauty is a thing of pure evil, and I have broken so many freaking nails just trying to lift that stupid thing out of there. Like, if it was a real person, we'd be fighting right now. Because it has ruined many a good nail set. So, I guess I'm going to get a new set Monday instead of Wednesday, assuming that Aiden can get me in. But sometimes he's off on Monday, so we'll see. I messaged him to ask. we'll see what he says. If he can't get me in, then I may have to cut that nail off, because that shit, like, it's almost better when it just straight up breaks, because when it lifts like that, oh my god, every time you bump it, it hurts so bad. So I have a love-hate relationship with the Bathing Beauty, because it does a good job, but it has, like I said, I've lost count of how many nails I've lost to that fucking Bathing Beauty. Everybody's like, how do you groom with those nails? It's, the grooming part isn't hard, it's the freaking Bathing Beauty. And I stopped getting pointy nails because I was so tired of people all the time, aren't you afraid you're gonna hurt a dog with those nails? Like, if I was afraid I was gonna hurt a dog with the nails, why would I get them? To me, that's just such a stupid question. Bathing Beauty just kind of pissed me off. Whenever I went to go get her just now, I saw the dad. This family lives on the same property as, like, I know her grandma lives there. I don't know if her parents live close by too. But anyway, he was like, her husband was down at the grandma's house, and he saw me get out of the van, and he came riding over. It's not a golf cart, but it's like a golf cart on steroids. It's got like the big wheels, and it's like meant for off-roading and stuff. And there's like a little trunk area, and Ziggy was in the trunk, so I just like switched out the dog since it was so cute, you guys. Alright, I am running a little behind. I knew when I scheduled today that I was being a little ambitious with the timing of everything, but that's alright, because my last client is always like really understanding. So I just messaged her and let her know I would be running a little behind, but I'm on my way, because I really have it set in my head that I want to go bring these birthday presents by my mom's. I like went back and forth. I was like, because if I don't stop at home, I could probably be there. I'd still be late, but I would be a little bit closer to on time. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just head straight there. Then I thought about it, and I was like, no, especially since I am going to go Monday to get my new set. I just don't want to have to worry about anything else. You know, I want to just be able to get this done today. I may end up going back to Tuesday morning and Old Time Pottery on Wednesday, but we'll see. Tomorrow I'm gonna start, I'm like trying to get my house ready, like on my off days for my party. I want to make sure that like the day of, I basically don't have to do anything besides maybe prep a couple things and get ready, but I want to keep it pretty simple. I don't want to be trying to get everything done like last second, because that's when I start to get stressed out. All right, made it to this client. I was late, but I always put her kind of towards the end of the day on Saturday, because me and her always talk for a long time. Like, we just spent like a little over 20 minutes sitting there. Probably almost 30, because I think I actually got here at 3:20. It's 3:50, but we gotta catch up, you know. I haven't seen her since I went on vacation, and then she had some business trips that she went on, so we had a lot to talk about. And I don't like to make people like feel rushed. Like, some people are like quick in and out, you know, but other people, they want to talk, they want to catch up, and I don't like to make them feel like I'm in a hurry all the time. Now, sometimes I am in a hurry, and sometimes I can't stand there and talk, but like I said, I try to schedule myself in a way that I have the time for the people that would like to chat. Oh, you are a nasty boy. He over there. He does some inappropriate, not YouTube friendly things. I don't even know that I should say what he's doing. He's a little hornball. He's a hornball. He gets excited. And she was like apologizing. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm talking to you forever, and you were already running behind. I was like, I know, you're the last one. I was like, we can sit here and talk for a minute. Because last time I came, she was out of town, and I just saw her dog sitter. So it's actually been like 2 months since I've gotten to talk to her. I actually don't even remember. Oh, my little E is falling off. This bottle, I think it came from Groomer Girls, but you can get these at Sally's for real cheap. It's over in the nail section. I used to work there. Mine used to say like love or something with a paw print. Now it's just got an E and some toes, so you know. All right. His little lips. He's so handsome. He's such a good boy. Say bye. I love that green. Isn't that so pretty on him? All right, last bath for Sirius. He was having a rough morning. She said his tummy was upset. Here he is. Let me give it a view. Say hey. He's a little nervous when he got in. Sometimes when they don't feel good, that they're like, in a bath. So anyway, we're gonna do it real fast so you can go back inside. Here's my friend. I miss when I used to work at a doggy daycare, and that's where I met Sirius. And I used to be able to come in and like play first, but now I'm just bath lady, and that's never fun. That was one thing that was really hard for me to adjust to going into grooming, is like I was so used to being at a doggy daycare where like all the dogs were like so happy to see me, and they loved coming in, and it was so fun. And then now it's like a lot of the dogs they'll be like shaking or whatever when they come in the van, and it always like makes you feel bad. Like you don't want the owners to think that like there's something you're doing, you know what I mean? So I know it's not, because like my own dogs, whenever like Max and Luna, they don't come in the van to like go and work with me like Stevie and Hammer do. And so anytime they come in the van, they just start shaking. So I know it's not me, but it feels like it's you. You know what I mean? Like you feel like oh, they hate me. But it's just different dog to dog. Like Harry comes and he's always like so excited, and Sirius is just not. So anyway, I'm gonna get him done really fast so that he can go back inside. All right, I'm Sirius. He's so handsome. You got the orange to match Harry. So cute. He's a good boy. Alright, so I just left Old Time Pottery, and both of the things I got were like breakable, so they're all wrapped up. But I will show you guys. I'm gonna do like a collective Halloween haul of all the stuff that I've gotten over the last few weeks. I already have like a couple parts ready, and I'm gonna add this stuff in there. But I was actually so surprised there was so much still at Old Time Pottery. I was getting nervous because like Michael's and everything is like sold out. So well, not completely, but they definitely are running low on Halloween supplies. So I'm gonna run over to Tuesday morning and I will check back in. Well, Tuesday morning was a bust. They were closed. It said they were closing at 4 just today. So I'm actually gonna go back to Old Time Pottery on Wednesday, probably. Yeah, probably Wednesday. So yeah, also I'm pretty sure this car behind me, they have like a little dog in the car, and like no shit, they just followed me all the way in there and through the parking lot. There was like nothing else back there besides Tuesday morning and the hair school I went to. Actually, I was going to show you guys, but then yeah. So anyway, they followed me back through the parking lot around, and then now I'm going to my mom's, which is like 20 minutes the other direction. It's so weird. Like people like follow you like you're the freaking ice cream truck, rather than like my number is on all 4 sides. My Facebook's on here, my Instagram, even my YouTube is on my van. So they can contact me, but some people will just follow me. And I'm just kind of like, I'm going across town, so if you want to follow me all the way to my mom's house, which is kind of silly when you could just call or text, and then I could tell you I'm not taking new clients in this area. Anyway, the light's changing, so let me go. Oh yeah, and the reason I think they were following, besides the obvious of they just like literally went in a circle around an empty parking lot with me, is they had their dog in the car. And it was a little dog, but I'm also not taking new clients, and especially not in this area. The area I'm in right now is where my mom lives, and when I first started, I was so worried that I wouldn't have enough clients that I decided to take clients in this area that's like an hour from where I live, and quickly regretted that because I'm actually the only mobile in my area, so I'm so busy like by my house that it feels silly to drive an hour to an area that, by the way, has a ton of mobile groomers. There's probably like 10 mobile groomers, if not more than that, in this area. So anyway, I'm not taking on any new ones. But the fact that he had his dog made me want to like not talk to him even more, because then people think like, oh, you're like off work, you can just groom one more dog, right? And it's like hard to explain to somebody that doesn't work a job like this. It's kind of like if you went into work and then you were like getting off work, leaving, going out to your car, and somebody's like, actually, like, will you work for 2 more hours? I'll pay you for it. Sometimes it's not worth any amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's just like, no, I want to go home. I'm off for the weekend, and I just wanted to do a little shopping. So yeah. Hopefully you guys can see me okay, because I don't even know where the light is in this thing. Yeah, I don't think I've ever turned these lights on in the cab up here, so they come on with the door. But anyway, so I just left my mom's house. I ended up being there a little bit later than I'd planned. I was basically just gonna drop in and drop the presents off and go, but she had ordered pizza for dinner and it was like almost there, so I stayed for dinner, and then I went over to my grandpa's house and took care of his cat with her. So yeah, pretty chill end to the day, but I just wanted to jump on and say bye before I forgot. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!